Hey guys, I just wanted to talk a little bit about my upcoming race. I got my 50K, which is 31 point something miles. It is a trail run. So anything over a marathon or 26.2 miles is called an ultra marathon. Anywhere from 27 miles to, I saw one that is coming up next year that's 300 miles. And there's just some crazy distances and they all fit into one, kind of like the heavyweight division in boxing or in fighting. It is like anything 205 and above. But the difference between marathon and ultra marathon outside of the distance is a lot of the mindset that goes into a race, especially amongst the runners and also the terrain. Almost all ultra marathons have some sort of off-road, trail, non-major course involved in it. Now there are some like backyard marathons where they'll do it like on a track and they'll literally just run around the track 800 times. And those are actually usually going for world record speeds for ultras and stuff like that. And those are specific, but your average ultra marathon is going to be a trail race, which is why I'm running out here on this muddy trail. And so the difference between those outside of just the terrain is the mindset of how you approach those races, because on a trail, you are running a lot different than you are if you're running on pavement. It is easier on the joints, I would say, to run on the trail. Usually the ground is softer. There's more different movements than just your regular lateral pounding of the joints, because you've got rocks, you've got hills, you've got, obstacles you're crossing over. So you use a lot of different motions throughout the race, but it's a lot more difficult on your muscles, because like I said, it's a harder pounding because your muscles in your body don't just get in a rhythm like they would do if you're running on pavement. And this really requires a different skill set or a different type of endurance, because it's not just cardiovascular endurance, but your muscle endurance is more challenged when you're running an ultra marathon. And so I've spent a lot of time trying to make my legs stronger, and so that way over the 31 miles, because it's going to be in Bryce Canyon in Utah, and it's going to have like, I think a total of I think the elevation, like the lowest to highest elevation, is like 2,000 or 3,000 feet of elevation gain. It's something crazy. And also it goes up and down. So the total amount of vert is probably in the tens of thousands difference from high, low through the entire course. And also it's going to be incredibly hot because it's in May, and it's Utah, it's the desert, it gets hot. And so it's going to just be an entirely different beast. And I don't know what to expect, but I'm super excited for it. I've been leading more into the trail running, the ultra marathon running recently, just because, number one, look at that. That's just nice. It's just a wonderful view. And, like if you run like me, where a lot of your running is also not just for physical benefits, but the mental health benefits and the stress relieving benefits. Just looking around and breathing the cool air and the trees and hearing the wind rustle through the leaves. It's just very relaxing. It's very wonderful. But I signed up for a 50 miler in October, which honestly, I'll be honest, it's a little delusional of me. But 6 months, I'll get a taste of what to expect, because it's going to be in Palo Duro Canyon and Amarillo. So it's going to be another canyon run. Luckily, it'll be in October, so it won't be as hot. But, this first one's going to give me a taste of it. And my goal for that, it's going to be slow. I know, like, I'm already, like, planning, like, 17, 18-minute miles, honestly, which is going to include a lot of walking. So it'll be, like, 10-minute run, 5-minute walk. And, and if I feel good, because the goal is, if I feel better towards like the end of the race, if I have like 6, 8, 10 miles left, and I still feel like I have a lot left in the tank, and obviously the trail, it's an out and back, so I'll know what to expect going back. I'll be able to pick up the pace and carry myself faster on the way back. But you know, I'll get a taste of it and really know what to expect and how to approach this 50 miler in October. And then my big goal, I mean, that's the next goal, even though it's a pretty massive goal. My big goal is 100 miler in 2025. And I'm actually working on getting a coach to coach me, because even someone who helps and coaches other people in running, I need, you know, I can't tell my clients they need a coach to do something they've never done before if I won't also admit that I need a coach for something that I've never done before and don't know how to approach, training wise, nutrition wise, planning wise, strategic. There's a lot of strategy that's involved in these races, because, you know, 50 miler, it'll probably take me 10 hours. And so I have to actually plan on eating food and probably, you know, changing shoes, socks, all, you know, and a bunch of different things. And especially like in the 100 miler, just obviously gets even just more important, those details. So I'm working on getting a coach. I've reached out to one guy. He's actually pretty big in the running, especially ultra running community. Someone I look up to from a running standpoint, and looking to possibly get him as a coach, just because I know that just would be really cool for me. He also represents BPN, which is the shirt I'm wearing, so excited there. But I'm really excited just for the challenge of it. I still have my plan to eventually, you know, do my sub 4, because eventually I want to qualify for the Boston Marathon, which requires a sub 3 hour marathon. But I've really began to understand the time it's going to take for me to get to that level. You know, when you start something, you kind of are naive about just the work that's going to be required in order to achieve something. So, oh yeah, I ran one marathon in 5 hours and 40 minutes. I'm going to qualify. My next thing is I'm going to train to qualify for the Boston Marathon, and just how difficult that is. Because even watching guys that I watch that, you know, go from 255 to 247 to 242 to 238 in the 5 years it takes for them to go down 30 minutes, because when you get to those speeds, that much more is required. You know, when you're going from 0 to 50, 0 to 50%, the effort required to gain is not as hard. But when you get down to those, because at that point you're not just working on the big stuff, you have to fine tune the minute details, the minute muscles, the minute moments in your training, in your preparation, in order to be able to conquer those times. Because, you know, it's funny because the difference between those times are like 1 or 2, it could be 5 seconds per mile difference over the course of a marathon. And it's insanely difficult to make up those 5 seconds per minute or per mile. So just excited for that, and for all the goals in the future. I have a lot of goals with running that are going to take a long time. Honestly, like, this is a journey that's going to, until I literally cannot run anymore, it's going to be a journey that takes me hopefully all over the world to accomplish things that even me right now just seems impossible. Like I said, there's a 300-mile race that I saw that is going to be over the course of like 7 days. It's insane. And I know people, I don't know them, but I follow them on Instagram. They're going to do it, and I'm going to watch. And who knows, 10, 15 years, I may find myself lining up for a 300-mile race. You know, if Jesus tarries and God willing. But I'm excited and ready to get to work. I got to fine tune my work and make sure I'm staying on top of my training, because otherwise I could possibly die. And that kind of, it's weird, but that excites me. And I'm not being facetious, you know, I'm not being over dramatic with it. You know, people you could possibly die if you're not careful doing crazy stuff like this. And that's part of, I think, the draw to it, you know, as a person who likes the adrenaline. But yeah, thanks for, if you stuck around this long, thanks for listening and joining the journey, and follow along, wish me luck, and donate to my charity stuff so I can run this race and not have to pay $1,000. Love you guys. I'll talk to you later.